Hello, it's Danny here. If you remember me as PsyDreamer Cosplay, hello, welcome back. If you are here from my cosplay reviews that I used to do, it is nice to have you here. If you're new, if you're a returning subscriber or viewer, then nice to see you again. I don't go by that handle anymore, but I don't know what I'm going to be going by for the future, so just call me Danny for now. So today I want to discuss my relationship with cosplay, and it's a little complicated. So for those of you who are new here, I have been cosplaying since about 2016, 2017, and I will include some photos here on the screen so you can see how I looked when I first started. I don't know if I'm just an old head now or what, because it certainly feels like I am, but I feel like the cosplay scene was so different back then. I feel like back then it was more about just having fun compared to today, which we will go into in a bit. I feel like compared to back then, it just kind of feels like a beauty contest and trying to catch up with the algorithms, and it's kind of exhausting, and I thought I wanted to talk about that for a little bit today, so let's just go straight into that. As I said, today's cosplay community just seems like it's been really focused on living up to social media beauty standards and trying to catch up with the algorithm, and that's just not really what I came here for when I first started this hobby. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's the community, but I feel like I've been starting to disconnect from the whole scene. I can't tell if it's because my mental health has been up and down, or if it's because the community has changed so much since I joined. The focus just feels like it's shifted from crafting and having fun to looking perfect for social media. And if I'm being quite honest, I myself am guilty of falling into that trap. Sorry if I look tired. I forgot to put on concealer, and the glitter under my eyes kind of just did the opposite of making me look less tired. After all these years trying to be a cosplay content creator or whatever, since I first really started being active on this channel, a little after that, I guess around like 2021 or so, maybe a little bit after that, I don't know. When did it start getting bad? I've just caught myself trying to apply those beauty standards constantly to everyone, not just myself, but in general, and it's not something I'm proud of. I've been trying to work on that. That's one of the reasons I took a break from the community, because I found myself falling into those really toxic standards that social media has been promoting, and I don't want to be that kind of person, you know? I joined this community to have fun. I didn't join to make it into a sort of beauty contest or social media contest or none of that. When I took a step back, I had to remind myself, hey, this isn't about looking perfect. This is a hobby that we joined for fun. I had to remind myself, hey, look, this isn't what I came to this community for. I came to this community of cosplay because I wanted to meet other people like me, people who liked anime and people who were creative and had fun, and just meet other people that like the same things I did. So when did all of that start to go wrong, you know? It's not about the numbers, it's about just being creative and meeting like-minded people. It's not about trying to look perfect on social media or who has more followers than who. That's not what I joined this community for. And I'm gonna be honest, it's not just about the beauty standards. Social media culture has just really made it easy for us to compare ourselves to one another. And I myself have really been struggling with that. I'm still struggling with that to this day. I often find myself envying other more successful cosplayers or content creators in general when I see that they have more followers or more likes, etc. And it shouldn't be that way. I shouldn't be comparing myself to everybody else. I should just focus on doing me and having fun, right? But when I compare myself like that, I just end up feeling like, was any of my effort even worth it if it didn't get the same amount of, I don't know, traction, I guess. I always end up thinking maybe my efforts just aren't worth it if I'm not getting the same traction as other content creators or whatever. You understand what I'm saying. And I think all of that really started going downhill and getting worse when Instagram removed the recent posts feature. I think that was the worst thing they could have done for smaller content creators. It used to be so easy to go onto Instagram and find smaller creators just by going to the recent posts and, you know, looking up a hashtag that you wanted to see more of, and you could find smaller creators there, and that really helped them grow. And then the moment they got rid of that feature, that's it. It's almost impossible to grow on there now because it's just giving the already big creators even more of attraction. And where does that leave the little guys? It just leaves them even further down at the bottom now. They're like impossible to find. And the whole having to post reels and whatnot is equally as annoying because, let's be honest, not all of us want to post reels. I don't want to post reels. It's such a pain in the ass to, like, I'm gonna be honest, I hate posting reels, I hate making reels. Short form content is just not for me, it's not my thing. I like actually going in depth. As you might be able to tell from my older cosplay reviews, I don't make them like less than a minute. I just can't with all this emphasis on short form content. It's killing people's attention span. And all of this just really started to suck all the fun out of something that I used to enjoy. It's just too stressful to try to make content and keep up with the algorithm that's constantly changing. And I'm done with that. Okay, so I'm just gonna touch on this briefly for those of you who are new here, but for those who aren't new, some of you might remember that there were deepfakes made of me a while back, about 2 years ago. So that was another major reason that I had to step back from the community. It was the final nail in the coffin for me as to my already existing cosplay burnout and struggling mental health. So that little nail in the coffin just kind of solidified why I had to leave this scene for so long. I was already dealing with really bad depression, hence why I slowed down on making content, and I was struggling with even getting the motivation to continue making videos. You know, I mean, I was already comparing myself as it was. I was dealing with burnout at work, cosplay burnout, depression, and chronic illness. You put all that together with that trauma nailing the coffin, I was bound to eventually reach my final straw, you know? But I have mostly healed past that, so I'm not going to touch the subject further because I don't want to turn this into a whole trauma downer. So for those of you who used to watch my cosplay reviews, I know that it's the reason a lot of you subscribe to my channel, which I'm very grateful for. They were the most popular content on my channel. Other content was shit, let's be honest. Stopping those reviews was honestly really tough for me. They were my favorite videos to make. And quitting my job really didn't help because now that I didn't have regular income coming in anymore due to my condition, I had to stop making those videos, and I haven't really been able to do a review since. I would love to go back to that content, but that's gonna have to wait until I'm able to get regular income again. I don't know when that will be because I'm still getting my epilepsy addressed and all of that, which I will continue talking about on this channel if you would like updates on that. It was very hard taking a step back from that content, but it was what I had to do for my own good, for my own health. So for those of you who are new to my channel and were wondering why there was such a shift in my content, that's why. I would love to return to making cosplay reviews in the future. So yeah, that's pretty much why my content has shifted away from cosplay. Social media getting toxic. I mean, if I'm being honest, I feel like TikTok and Instagram have both turned really toxic when it comes to the general communities. I mean, if you go look at the comments at some of the reels and videos that people post on there, they get like, they do not hold back. So I'm honestly scared of the comments sometimes because it's like, y'all are ruthless. That's why I try not to really post on there too much. So yeah, the mixture of toxic social media culture, just changes in the community in general. And then every time a new character comes out, these cosplay companies are releasing, the moment a character design comes out, these cosplay companies are running to pump out that character's cosplay, and it's starting to slowly turn it into a fast fashion environment, and it's being less about the craft and having fun, and it's just exhausting for me. So if you were wondering why my content has shifted away from that so much, all of that I just spoke about right now is the reason why. Just the toxic social media culture, the beauty standards. It's slowly becoming, cosplay slowly becoming more like fast fashion, turning into about constantly pumping out new products. And of course, the things that I've been through personally, all of that just led to a one big cosplay burnout for me. And I mean, I still go to cons that are local here, but I don't really care much anymore the way I used to. I'm still going to San Japan in a couple of weeks, but I'm not as looking forward to it as I used to be. I used to always go all out and hope that somebody would take a picture of me and just have a good time, and now I'm like, I'm not really focused on getting great pictures for social media anymore. I'm just gonna show up in my cosplay, get out of it once I'm tired of it, don't feel like it anymore. I'm just gonna focus on having a good time, walking around Artist Alley and just checking things out. Maybe one day my passion will come back the way it was. If I'm able to get a regular income again anytime soon, a full-time job, maybe I'll create a craft that will spark that passion in me again. But for now, I'm just doing this for fun. I'm not even trying to do this as like a content creator sort of thing anymore the way I used to, because that's just too exhausting for me. These algorithms are always changing. It's just too much to keep up with, you know? I'd rather focus on my modeling career instead of cosplay now. I'm not the same person I was when I joined this community, and that's okay. Changing is okay. Sometimes we just grow out of things that we used to love, or not completely grow out of it, but sometimes we just don't like them as much as we used to, and that's just part of being human. It happens. It's a totally normal part of growing, and change is just part of life. Sometimes you think you're gonna love something forever. I know I did when I joined that hobby. All my coworkers at my old job knew me as a cosplay girl, and I thought I was forever going to be that cosplay girl, but things changed along the way, and that's okay. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now in life. I'm still trying to figure out where I fit in this community now, and I might not be entirely sure where my future as a cosplayer is headed, but like I said, that's okay. People change. And for those of you who stuck around this long, thank you for hearing me out and listening. Let me know if you felt the same way about this community and social media or any of the other topics in general that I might have discussed. And thanks for watching. It was nice talking to y'all.